editor ako ng The Sun. It's the leading Filipino community publication in Hong Kong. Nandito ba si Philip? Anyway, ang nasa-frustrate ko kami, being outside, we're primarily, most of us, nakatira outside of the Philippines, nakikita namin na pasama ng pasama yung sitwasyon sa Pilipinas. And we wish you good luck because we really need you to be in the Senate. So, magkaroon ng majority man lang yung mga nag-o-oppose kay Duterte sa Senate. Pero what do you think is a tipping point? But ang mga Pilipino ngayon ay parang tinitiis lahat yung mga nangyayari. We asked Gary this also because he was here earlier. So, ano po, apart from, we recognize that the election is one way of reversing what's happening in the Philippines right now. Pero what else can we do? Well, short of doing people power, pero parang it's not in the equation right now. So, what else apart from, we pledge to help you in the campaign the best way we could. It's a big problem abroad because, as you know, in the last presidential election, overwhelming ang pagkapanalo ni Duterte at actually ni Bongbong dito. And we hope it will change. But what else can we do? Yun lang po yung tanong ko sa inyong lahat. Thank you.
Maraming salamat, Daisy. Of course, ang isa sa mga hinaharap ng OtsoDiretso, syempre, yung pagsasabi ng katotohanan. Dahil syempre, kung titignan natin yung nangyari nung nakaraang halalan, ginamit talaga ang social media kung paano lalong pinalawak ang iba't ibang mga balita, lalo-lalo na yung usapin tungkol sa mga fake news, no? So this is a big area where our friends from Hong Kong could help spread the true news kung ano pa talaga ang nangyayari dito sa ating bansa. At ito yung matinding hinaharap po namin lahat dahil syempre hindi tayo nasa posisyon ngayon, dihado ho tayo, underdogs kami, naghahamon nga kami ng debate para pag-usapan ang iba't ibang mga issue ng ating bansa, presyo, bigas, kababaihan, EJK, konstitusyon, pero mukhang ayaw humarap ang ating mga kalaban sa Senado. Kaya importante yung ipapaabot, no, sa ating mga kababayan yung totoong balita tungkol sa nangyayari sa mga issue na hinaharap po natin. Pangalawa, syempre dahil tayo po ay nandito sa Hong Kong, hindi po natin pwedeng maiwasan na hindi talakayin ang iba't ibang mga issue rin tungkol sa ating mga OFW. Importante yan dahil kung hindi natin maiugnay ang problema ng OFW sa problemang hinaharap ng ating bansa ngayon, kung bakit sila po ay lumabas at naghanap ng trabaho dito sa Hong Kong o sa ibang mga bansa, hindi natin talaga masusolusyonan yung problema sa ating bayan. Kaya mauugnay talaga yan, yung issue ng kahirapan. At hindi lamang yan, tingin ko, kung talagang sincero ang administrasyon para tulungan ang ating OFWs, lalo-lalo na dito sa Hong Kong, no? At sa iba't ibang mga bansa. Sana yung ginawa po ng ating Pangulo sa pagkakaroon ng country-to-country pag-uusap sa rights ng ating OFWs, masundan sa iba't ibang mga bansa, hindi lamang sa bansang Kuwait. Dahil alam naman po natin, yan ang hinahanap po ng ating OFWs para maprotektahan po ang kanilang karapatan. Importante po. At dito papasok po yung, bago ko ipasa, yung relasyon ng ating bansa sa China. Kung nakikita po ng ating Pangulo na talagang ginigipit naman po ang ating mga mamamayan dito sa Hong Kong, bakit naman hindi niya gamitin yung kanyang pagkamalapit sa bansang China para paprotektahan naman po ang kalagayan ng ating mga OFWs. Sa nakikita nga po natin hanggang ngayon, patuloy pong pinapahirapan pa rin ang OFW sa iba't ibang mga larangan dito sa bansang Hong Kong. So, ipapasa ko muna sa mga kasama ko para sila rin po ay makapagsalita.
I think we are fast approaching the tipping point. The fact that even the President himself and his daughter are campaigning for us, albeit in a negative manner, ayan ay isang malaking bagay sa amin. Pero alam naman natin na iba ang gusto nilang labanan eh. Ang gusto nilang labanan ay labanan ng padamihan ng TARP, kantahan, tawanan. Yun ang gusto nilang pangangampanya. Pero hindi naman tayo gagawa ng TARP sa Senado. Hindi naman karaoke bar ang Senado. Hindi naman comedy bar ang Senado. Gagawa tayo ng batas. At the voting public are entitled to know kung sino ang may kakayahan na gumawa ng batas, kung sino ang may prinsipyo at paninindigan na gumawa ng batas, even in terms of the honesty to do good legislation. At syempre kung sino ang may track record na talagang maipapakita natin na alam nila kung anong klaseng batas ang kailangan ng taong bayan. Kaya the fact na nailipat namin yung labanan mula sa padamihan ng TARP sa pagka-debate ay palagay ko malaking gain na sa amin yan. And we intend to keep on pushing for that. Akala kasi nila yung mga botante natin ay ang gusto lang nila, ganito lang, yung kantahan lang at tawanan. Hindi naman totoo yun eh. Ang hinahanap ng mga botante talaga ngayon ay sandali lang, may problema tayo, may problema ang bayan. Sino may kaya talagang lutasin yung mga problema na yan?
For our part, what we're trying to do is a campaign of awakening. Kaya nga yung core principle ng pangampanya ay yung tinatawag na Project Makinig, Matuto, at Kumilos. We need to recognize that we live today in an environment of fear and there's a culture of violence. So yung kombinasyon ng takot at yung dahas, I think, napadali yung abilidad ng ating pamahalaan na kontrolin yung impormasyon na nakakarating dun sa ating mga mamamayan, lalo na dun sa ating mga OFWs. Heavily dependent yung ating mga OFWs sa social media, and yung bagong phenomenon na hinaharap natin ay yung abilidad ng mga institusyon, ng mga gobyerno na kontrolin yung social media para mapaliit ng mapaliit yung mga echo chambers nila. So yung nakikita ng ating mga kababayan ay yung gusto lamang ipakita ng ating gobyerno. So sa tingin ko, isa dun sa magiging kontribusyon ng OtsoDiretso sa kampanya ito ay yung palawakin yung mga pinanggagalingan ng impormasyon ng ating mga mamamayan, lalo na ng ating OFW community. Kaya nga kami ay nagpasya na pumunta dito dahil in many ways, Hong Kong is ground zero for the hopes and dreams of the Filipino nation. Na marami sa atin dahil sa mga paghihirap sa ating bayan sa Pilipinas, napupwersa o nagdedesisyon sila na lumabas ng bansa dahil gusto nilang matupad yung kanilang mga pangarap. Kaya kasama dun sa campaign of awakening namin, hindi lamang yung pagbatikos dun sa maling polisiya ng gobyerno, ito rin yung may kaakibat na usapin tungkol dun sa mga importante sa ating bayan. The God issues, the economic issues na napaka-importante dun sa ating mga kababayan. Yung tipping point, I think, ay kung magdesisyon yung mga mamamayan na sumama dun sa dinadalang campaign of awakening ng OtsoDiretso. We're just the tip of the spear. Kami yung pangbutas dun sa blanket authority ng government to determine facts. No? Kaya nga narinig natin ngayon honesty is no longer an election issue. The unimaginable has become possible. Can you imagine sa isang pamahalaan na sa isang eleksyon na gano'n na yung pwedeng sabihin ngayon. And that's because of the culture of fear and the environment of impunity that we face today. Kaya sa tingin namin, ang kampanya na ito ay para gisingin at sumama na yung mga mamamayan dun sa pag-angat ng mga tunay na issue ng bayan. Dahil yung kabilang panig, napapansin namin, it's a campaign of distraction. Parang nilalayo dun sa mga issues na gusto naming talakayin. Kami, kahit saang forum, kahit saang lugar, nagkukumahog, nakikipag-usap, we're exposing ourselves to the people para malaman ng mga mamayan yung importanteng issues na dapat harapin. Yung kabilang panig, nagtatago sa mga air-conditioned coliseums para magkantahan at magsayawan. Sa tingin ko, at some point, makikita ng tao yung contrast na yun. And that's the tipping point.
Bilang taga Marawi, siguro isang issue na tipping point for us would be yung unfinished rehabilitation. And I think Marawi is just an example na hindi mangyari sana sa ibang mga projects at programa ng Duterte administration na you start it but you can't end it and you can't even start it on time. So 3 months na po since May 2017, yung siege hindi pa po nag-start formally. Ang pagbabalik sa mga tao sa Ground Zero, which is 24 barangays. Ito ang commercial capital ng mga Maranao. The Muslim Filipinos trader community, ito mga Maranao people, and their commercial life has been destroyed from the May siege, confrontation between the Multi Group and the government. So, the volcano of emotion, volcano of waiting, yung kanilang sadness and frustration could be one tipping point, no? From, they might not be Mindanao, itong mga taga-Marawi, but they're the example of people who can be the tipping point, the source of tipping point and frustration. Because they, nagsa-spill over po sila. Nakikita natin sila sa lahat ng palengke sa buong Pilipinas, and they are also finding greener pastures. I'm sure in Hong Kong, meron din sila, mga domestic workers na nakababaihan ng mga Maranao, taga Mindanao, na never na-experience nila mag-work as domestic workers kasi usually mga traders po sila. Second issue, because I'm a commuter for the past 4 months in Manila, galing ako Marawi, but I stayed in Iligan to evacuate from the war, and I've been in Manila for 4 months as a Grab taxi commuter, at nakakarinig ko mismo kasi the taxi drivers are the major supporters ng ating administrasyon, at naramdaman ko yung frustration. Did we know that 65% of the cost ng ating galunggong ay galing sa taas presyo sa gasolina? So, this is not DDS yellow issue eh. Bilang mga babae at mga pamilya, importante sa atin yung inflation, presyo, pagkain, magkano binabalik natin sa bahay. Kayo, nagdedeposito kayo, okay. Yung dolyares, okay pa rin ang stabilidad. Pero yung binapadalahan nyo, yung pagbibili naman yan, lumiliit yung binabalik sa bahay. Lumiliit din ang nutrisyon ng ating mga kabataan. So 9% inflation in Mindanao, that's not something to be proud of. We're from Mindanao, President. Hindi personalan ang issue. Hindi po kami pintasero, kritiko, na sinasabing mo for the sake the kritiko. Kami po ay may mga track record na nagtrabaho po kami. Peace movements, bawat isa dito may organisasyon, naging NGO worker. Ako 30 years, based almost 21 years in Mindanao. At alam ko na ang issue hindi pinagsasabong dapat ang DDS Yellow. Dito sa Hong Kong, naiintindihan ko kayo, majority of us was supporters of the President. Now I tell you ma'am, it's not about kung sino ang sinusuportahan. Ang issue natin is ang mga issue na dapat ina-address mismo ng ating administrasyon. Vice President Lenny and President Duterte are both confronted with the situation, and kami sa Otso come forward as politicians, newbies at that, na nag-o-offer ng aming sarili after having track records of our own to the public. Hindi po kami politikong normal. Mga political leaders kami by force of circumstances. I, for one, come from the Marawi conflict and never thought I would be able to run a national campaign. I'm thankful to the OtsoDiretso for giving me this chance.
Ako po naman si Atty. Makalintal. Kanina nung magtanong nun si Daisy, ang mukha niya ay napakakulimlim. Makulimlim pa sa panahon dito sa Hong Kong. Parang wala ka na kapag-asa. Kaya nga nandito tayo para magbigay ng pag-asa. Sabi nga ni Chel, tsaka ni Samira, kami naman may track record. Wala kaming cracked record, masasabi, di ba? So, nandiyan yung pag-asa. Tsaka yung mga tipping point na yan, baka marinig kayo ni Era, masasabihin niya, tip of the ice cream lang po yan. Ano ba? So, ano ba nangyayari talaga sa ating bansa, Daisy? Huwag kang maging mawawala ng pag-asa at kaya yung mga kababayan natin, napakalaki ho ng nangyayaring pagbabago dito sa amin sa OtsoDiretso. Maging ang Pangulo ng Pilipinas. Aba, kami ay binibira na rin at nagsasama pa silang mag-ama. Ano ba? So, ito'y nagpapatunay lamang na yung mga sinasabi namin ay nakaka-apekto. At sana lahat ng mga kababayan natin ay sumama dito sapagkat meron tayo talagang pinaglalaban. Ngayon, nung hindi sila sumasang-ayon sa hamon naming debate, nasa dyaryo naman ngayon sa Inquirer.net, ang binibira naman ni Sarah ay ang ating Vice President. Sinasabi daw na hindi daw tunay na Vice President, kundi fake Vice President. Paano yun nalaman yun? Sumasali na naman siya sa isang issue na wala naman sa kinalaman. She's not even part of the electoral protest of Mr. Marcos. And I tell you that the electoral protest of Mr. Marcos is game over na yan. Wala na hong mangyayari sa protest na yan. Kasi from 2010 up to the present, wala namang nananalo sa recount of ballots in an election protest involving the automated election. Now, why are we asking for a debate? Para magising ang taong bayan at saka malaman natin ano ba yung posisyon talaga nila sa various issues. Alam nyo, si Senator Bam Aquino, ipinagmamalaki niya yung ating libreng kolehiyo. Ito yung batas na ginawa niya. Talagang pinagmamalaki niya kahit saan kami magpunta at pinapalakpakan ng taong bayan, iyayakap siya ng mga kababayan natin. Eh bakit si Senator Angara may akda ng train law? Ay, hindi ko yata narinig na binabanggit niya itong train law na ito. Bakit ayaw niya ipagtanggol? Alam naman ninyo yung train law, ito ang dahilan kung bakit napakataas ng bilihin na ngayon sa ating bansa. Yung excise tax na na-impose sa mga petroleum products. Pagtaas niyan, lahat na ang sunod-sunod tataas niyan. So bakit ayaw ipagtanggol yan ni Senator Angara? Kaya nga gusto namin makipagdebate. Gusto namin makaharap sila, ipagtanggol ninyo yung mga batas na ginawa ninyo sa ating bansa. Nakaputi ba yan? Ay, dyan yung rice tarification law, ginawa ni Cynthia Villar. Ay, bakit ayaw niya magsalita tungkol sa rice tarification law? Bakit hindi niya masabi yan sa buong Pilipinas sa paglalabas nila? Na, naku, napakaganda po nito. Wala akong narinig na pumapalakpak sa kanila. Si Bam Aquino, pag sinabi niya yung libreng kolehiyo, nag-iiyakan ng mga bata sa katuwaan. Ay itong si Angara at saka si Cynthia Villar, pag itong nabanggit yung rice tarification, nag-iiyakan din yung mga magsasaka sa sama ng loob. At yung train law, nag-iiyakan din ang buong bansa dahilan sa taas ng bilihin na nagiging sanhi ng nasabing batas. Yan ang gusto namin malaman. Kasama nila si Jinggoy Estrada, nagmamalaki. Naku, nakagawa daw siya ng 600 bills. Ang sabi niya noon, ako nakagawa ng 600 bills. Nasaan na yung mayayabang na dilawan? Anong nagawa nila? Yan ang sabi niya. Eh sabi ko, Mr. Estrada, kahit na 1,000 bills tsaka resolutions kaya namin gawin sa loob ng 1 oras. Ano ba yung mga bills? Hindi siguro naintindihan ni Mr. Estrada ang ibig sabihin ng bills. Ang ibig sabihin yan, panukala. Suggestion lamang po yung kanyang mga ginawa. Resolution changing the name of the street of a particular municipality. Resolution changing the name of a hospital. Resolution changing the name of a particular school. Mahirap bang gawin yan? Dapat pa bang i-memorize yan? Di ba? So yung ganyang mga bagay, yan ang dahilan kung bakit namin gustong makipag-ugnayan sa kanila Ito naman sa COMELEC, biglang sinabi, we deny the request for a debate. We are not asking COMELEC to conduct the debate. We were merely asking the COMELEC to officiate a debate. Kasi ang sabi ni Sarah, kaya daw ayaw na makipagdebate, kailangan merong official na mag-officiate at third party para mag-officiate ito. So sabi namin, siguro COMELEC pwede kayo mag-officiate. Abay sabi ba naman hindi namin kaya yung 62 candidates. We are not asking for debate of the 62. Ang sabi namin, very, very clear in our letter, the OtsoDiretso versus the candidates of hukbo ng pagbabago. Maliw naman yun Kasi sila naman lagi nagsasabi na they are criticizing our group. So para magkaintindihan, ang hinahamon namin ay yung taga-hugpong ng pagbabago and the other batch of the president. Hindi namin kailangan ng 62. Napakadami talaga noon. Kaya ngayon, ang aming suggestion, siguro baka naman po pwede yung PPCRV ay siya naman makipagdebata ang mag-officiate na nasabing debate. O kaya kayong mga media entities, bakit hindi kayo magkasundo-sundo? You schedule a date and a place at sabihin niyo, o kayong OtsoDiretso, dito kayo. Ihintayin natin kung darating yung kabila. Pag hindi dumating, you give us all issues and you will answer the issues as if they were present. So siguro yung mga taga-media, nakikiusap kami sa inyo, organize yourselves in one group and on a particular date, invite the OtsoDiretso in a place and a time and give the rules of the game. At pag hindi sila tumating doon, talaga talaga kami lamang ang tatanungin ninyo. Siguro po pwede po yan. And write something about the importance of the debate. Maganda po yung editorial ng Inquirer the other day, the Philippine Daily Inquirer, to debate or not to debate. Yun ang kailang editorial. Napakaganda. Pinaliwanag nila. Sinasabi na, publicity gimmick lang yan. Sabi ng Inquirer, yes, it might be publicity, but is it not also a publicity for the other party? Hindi ba publicity yan para sa hukbong ng pagbabago? Para malaman din na kailang panig? So siguro we would like to appeal to our friends from the media, please encourage this debate. Kayo, baka sakaling po pwede nyo mapakiusapan na ipagpatuloy po natin ito para sa kapakanan ng ating taong bayan.
Nagpapasalamat po ang bunso ng OtsoDiretso na si Senator Bam sa panganay ng OtsoDiretso na si Mr. Senior Citizen sa kanya pong plugging. Pero dun po thank you po, Macaromi. Dun po sa tanong ni Attorney Daisy tungkol sa tipping point, nabanggit po niya ang people power. At siguro hindi po talaga mahihiwalay yung dalawa dahil yung people power noong 1986, yan po yung the original tipping point. At kay Senator Bam, talagang mahalaga, malaking parte ng kanyang buhay, ng kanyang paninindigan, ang people power movement. Sabi nga po ni Senator Bam na yung laban ng people power ay laban sa magnanakaw or pagnanakaw. Pagnanakaw sa kaban ng bansa, pagnanakaw sa buhay, pagnanakaw sa oportunidad. At masasabi natin na ngayon, 2019, marami pa ring magnanakaw at pagnanakaw na nangyayari. So para po kay Senator Bam, yung tipping point, itong darating na eleksyon. Kasi siguro makaluma na yung people power sa kalsada, people power na po sa balota. So yung pinag-uusapan nating mga political figure, may termino po sila hanggang 2022, wala na po tayong magagawa. Pero itong 2019, napakaklaro po na dapat naniniwala po si Senator Bam na dapat hindi tayo papayag na magnanakaw ang makakabalik sa Senado. So kung tatanungin po si Senator Bam, ang tipping point po talaga ang 2019 senatorial elections na hindi po makabalik ang mga magnanakaw at sana makapasok lahat ng OtsoDiretso.
Marian Benitez from Morning Post and Standard and TVB and back and forth. But anyway, I'd like to ask you, there are so many campaign slogans, from OtsoDiretso and also from ukol ng pagbabago. But I'd like to ask you, in 2016, Maro has a campaign for OtsoDiretso, the anti-corruption path, right? Hanggang matuloy or something. So, ano mong pagbabago from 2016 to 2019? What sort of a campaign or what sort of policies are you gonna present to the Filipinos, both here and abroad, which is entirely different from, Noynoy, from Ninoy, we know Ninoy, I knew Ninoy as well, and also Cory Aquino. We're talking about history, right? But we're talking about the future as well, So in this generation of millennials, how will you convince them that OtsoDiretso has got a vision and a policy for the country where we are going from here, and also for all of WWs in Hong Kong? There's so many issues. Since 1986, I was there at the press briefing when they ruled this 2-week rule, right? And it was because of some, local people saying that the Filipino domestic workers are moonlighting. All right. So that's the history where we are now. And now, the Hong Kong government also reversed, the live-in condition, because before there's workers can live out, but again, the Hong Kong people asked that they shouldn't be moonlighting or doing some questionable work outside. So, can you just set out what will be the policies for Hong Kong people? And I think, was it Mr. Tañada who said that because we're close to China, Hong Kong is a special administrative region. The Hong Kong government decides, whether to protect or not, the labor. And their priority is also to protect the local labor instead of the non-Hong Kong residents. So I don't think, although the issue is in the Philippines right now is about China, even exporting their own construction workers, we have like 300,000 unemployed, unskilled workers who are looking for jobs. So can you just, explain to us what is your vision? What is the vision or the list of or your promises for OFWs, not only in Hong Kong but also Middle East? Thank you.
Unahan ko na kayo mga kasama. I would like to address the initial question kasi medyo mga tatlo yata yung tanong ninyo eh. Speaking for myself, I think one issue that differentiates us from past campaigns is the issue of justice. Kasi hindi naman talaga nagiging bahagi ng mga kampanya ang hustisya. Of course, there's a lot of rhetoric about justice, but no one talks about the real systemic problems of our justice system, and there are a lot. Kulang na kulang halimbawa tayo sa, kaya mabagal ang paglilitis ng kaso sa ating bayan dahil we terribly lack judges and prosecutors. But this is not discussed. We have a very highly politicized process of appointing members of the courts. That's why the quality of justice in our country has a lot to be looked for. We have big problems as well, not just in the politics of justice, but in corruption. Problems of judicial accountability, problems of judicial transparency. These are fundamental stumbling blocks that prevent us from really having a working justice system. Why is this so important? Kasi pag hindi gumagana ng tama yung justice sa ating bayan, hindi tayo asenso. Paano natin malulutas yung problema ng korupsyon, ng kriminalidad? Paano natin mahihikayat ang mga foreign investor na pumasok sa atin? Alam nila, naku, lagayan na pala yung pinag-usapan natin dito, pera-pera lang yan. Kailangan magbago yun. We can never have any kind of real and sustainable development unless we talk about and make justice part of the national agenda in the Senate and in Congress. In answer to the question about the OFWs, I've been going around the country, and everywhere I go, I see injustice, especially among the marginalized and the poor. And it is no different among the OFWs. It is even more, your situation is even harder kasi you are dealing with a foreign government. Especially dito po sa Hong Kong, sa usapin ng anong regulations yun nabanggit yung 2-week rule, ay talagang hindi makatarungan yun. Paano magagawa, how can the OFW avail of legal remedies if they are forced to leave the country within 2 weeks? Paano sila makakapagsampa halimbawa ng illegal dismissal, sexual abuse, etc. All of the major problems, the abuses being done to them, they have essentially no legal remedy. Now, of course, we cannot dictate on another country what law they should have, but at the very least, the Philippine government can act on behalf of the OFWs and at least make representations na, uy, baguhin pa, naman pwede niyang baguhin yan at hindi naman makatarungan yan. Kung ayaw niyang baguhin yung two-week rule, give us a way of questioning and prosecuting these abuses being done to our people. Yeah, I will pass the mic now.
Just to add to sinabi ni Attorney Chel, again, I agree that Hong Kong is a special administrative region, but it does not escape us that China plays a very important role in influencing Hong Kong politics. So if the president is really interested in helping solve the problems of our OFWs here, he can use his special relationship with China to ensure the rights of the Filipino workers. But again, iba yung tinitignan ng ating Pangulo eh. Hindi yung karapatan ng mga OFW. Ang tinitignan ng ating Pangulo eh kung saan sa tingin ko, sila makikinabang dito sa relasyon ng China. For example, kung babalikan po natin yung Chico River Project, kung saan ang tanong, bakit pumayag ang ating bansa ng arbitration kung hindi magkakasundo sa pagkakaintindihan sa kontrata, dito sa bansang China, hindi sa third country. In real, if you are fighting, if you want a fair arbitration, it should be in a third country, not in the country where the other party is the contracting party. Second, bakit sasabihin ng ating bansa sa kasunduan na kapag hindi tayo makapagbayad, foreclose yung patrimonial assets natin? No? Nandiyan yan sa Chico River contract. And again, sino ba ang pinaglalaban ng ating Pangulo or ng ating economic managers? Ang ating bansa ba o interest ng China? So, kung ganyan ang pagmamahal ng ating economic manager sa bansang China, bakit hindi masabi ng ating gobyerno, uy, meron tayong mga OFW dito na pinapahirapan. Bakit naman hindi ninyo bigyan ng tulong? No? So I'm just saying this from a point of view that the government is always saying that they have this special relationship with China, and yet the OFW here continues to suffer. So ganyan ba ang pagtingin? Ngayon, for OFWs in general, again, why I would like to applaud Secretary Bello for coming up with his country-to-country negotiations with Kuwait with regard to OFW rights. Question, why only Kuwait? Why not other countries? Why can't we assert it in other countries? No? The rights of our OFW. So this is a challenge to the present government with regard to the rights of our OFWs. Ngayon, syempre kung mas malalim ang titignan natin yung problema, bakit umalis muna ang ating mga kababayan at naghanap ng mas magandang lugar kung saan sila makakapagtrabaho? Dahil sa kahirapan. Simpleng-simple yan. At kailangan bigyan ng solusyon ng ating gobyerno yung iba't ibang mga problema. One, I come from Quezon, and it's not only Quezon that there are coconut farmers. It's all over the country. The prices of coconut copras have gone down to 5 pesos to 12 pesos per kilo. That translates to 2,000 or less than 2,000 pesos per month. How can a coconut farmer live on less than 2,000 pesos a month? Siyempre, ang sasabihin ng coconut farmer sa kanilang mga anak, mag-abroad na lang ho kayo. No? So, ano yung ginagawa ng ating gobyerno para mabigyan ng solusyon ng kahirapan sa ating bansa? Lalo-lalo na sa sektor ng agrikultura. Bakit vinito ng ating Pangulo yung paggamit ng Coconut Levy Fund? Isang batas nung panahon ni Marcos kung saan nagpataw po ng buwis sa per kilo ng nyog ng 15 pesos. Yan po ay ginamit hindi sa industriya ng nyog, pero pambili ng iba't ibang mga korporasyon. No? At yung kasama ko po dito ay isa sa mga napanalo niyang kaso itong usapin tungkol sa Coco Levy. Yan ay pinangako po ng ating Pangulo nung siya ay nangangampanya. Sinalita po niya sa kanyang State of the Nation address. Pero nung nagtrabaho ang Senado, nagtrabaho ang House of Representatives, nagbigay ng isang panukalang batas, tapos at the last moment, vinito. So, paano natin magbibigyan ng solusyon itong problema ng ating bansa kung yung basic problems ng kahirapan hindi nabibigyan ng solusyon? Yung farmers in general, ngayon humaharap sila ng rice tarification. Nakaabang ba yung safety nets? Dahil kung hindi, lalong maghihirap ang ating mga magsasaka. Di lalong dadami po ang maghanap ng ibang trabaho sa ibang bansa dahil sa kahirapan natin. So ito yung mga sinasabi po natin, kailangan ng pag-usapan, kailangan ng bigyan ng solusyon. Kaya sinasabi po namin, kailangan isang Senado na independent, makabayan, matapang, may integridad, at handang pag-usapan ni masiselan na bagay dito sa ating bansa.
Yung issue po ng vision, I think it's very clear sa OtsoDiretso, and I'm proud na to be part na nire-recognize ko naman, peace and order, President Duterte's achievement, drugs. Pero beyond peace and order po, peace and order, peso and trabaho. Mukhang kailangan po yung tingnan kasi kaya po tayo nandito sa HK eh. Nasa Saudi tayo, and karamihan sa 2.3 million OFWs are women. And can you imagine kung hindi natin tinitingnan ang kanilang kondisyon? It doesn't clearly state when ang iyong holiday, tapos kung i-violate yung holiday condition mo na hindi ka nakaka-weekend, sino magkipaglaban sa'yo? We have a Legal Assistance Fund, LAF. Pero sa 130 million na Legal Assistance Fund na yan, meron bang nagmamonitor dyan sa LAF natin yan? Meron ba tayong polo, enough labor officers? I just came from Bangkok 5 days ago from an awarding by the United Nations on my work as a peace advocate in Mindanao. And merong isang brain dead doon sa ospital sa Bangkok. Sasabi ko, sino nagbabantay sa kanya? Wala, napapatak-patak lang kami. Hindi ba yun I cannot imagine. 20 years na ngayon, 40 years, 30 years na, dekada na po ang issue ng migrant workers. At hindi pa ba enough yung labor workers natin abroad to take care of our people? Here in HK, consulate officers, I'm asking you, ilan na? Ilan ang assigned natin sa mga specific locations? It's not Migrantes' role to address, they're not rescue workers, the Red Cross. The work should be official, it should be proactive, binabantayan ang sitwasyon ng mga kababaihan, ng mga employees natin. Proactive po yan. The support systems are there. Regionalistic tayo, kanya-kanya Ilocano support group, Mindanao support group. Pero sa akin, hindi dapat trabaho ng support groups na proteksyonan ang mga employee, pinapalo, binubugbog, at the first instance, dapat yung mga employers na yan, sinasabi natin outright, we are assertive. Bakit tayo nagpapadala ng tao kung binubugbog lang tayo? Personal sa akin to. My dad was executive director of the Office of the Migrant Workers in DFA. 30 years po kami nagtrabaho. yung dad ko sa DFA. Nag-aral ako sa UP dahil sa ama ko. Government scholarship, government funds. Pero kung hindi pa natin nakikita, hindi po President Duterte issue na to, beyond even. So we need to invest in protection of our labor sector. We need to assert bilaterally, if contractually, basta company to Philippine, employer to Philippine, dapat i-assert natin yun para matakot naman. I'm sure many women will not report violence against them, sexual abuse against them. So for Women's Month, kayong mga media po, I appeal to you to write about our travails. Of course, not expose us sexual abuses against specific people, their personalities, but importante sa akin, pag-usapan nyo ang issues na yan na napakatagal na po since the CEDAW, Convention on Elimination of Discrimination Against Women. Here in China, Beijing natin, pinirmahan sa Beijing 30 years ago. Sa pagpugay naman po sa mga kababaihan, pero alam natin, they do this, they suffer in secrecy. They suffer in silence, and we don't even talk about it because it's too embarrassing. Especially kami mga taga Mindanao, or even kami mga yung karelihiyon ko na hindi pag-uusapan ng physical abuse. Very emotional, I'm sorry. This is a Women's Month. I think we should even dedicate space for this, and I know President Duterte will understand. This is a valuable issue. This is not yellow DDS issue. So, yun po. The vision is very clear for me. I'm part of OtsoDiretso. It wants to offer alternative platform. We do act on our issues. Nandito po kami, since sa ground po kami. Galing kami sa baba. Win or lose, babalik po kami sa ginagawa namin. Win or lose, we go back. And we appeal to you, DDS of Hong Kong. Pakinggan nyo. Ang issue is organisado kayo, proteksyonan nyo ang sarili nyo. Because if the polo labor officers are not there for you, then what's going to happen? Who's going to speak up for you in Congress or Senate?
Hindi ko alam na kayo pala you suffered in silence.
Talaga.
Just remember that silence is the language of your heart, di ba? Sabi nga ni Rolando Carbonell. Anyway, yung problem natin sa mga OFWs, it's a matter of, parang ito yung responsibility and accountability issue ng ating mga labor attachés. Ang nagiging problema kasi, pag may dumating na isang incident involving an OFW, not only in Hong Kong, parang sakalang gumagalaw ang ating pamahalaan. Pag nawala na yan, wala na rin. Wala na sa balita. Walang follow-through, ika nga. Katulad ngayon, mainit na naman ang issue dahil sa meron na namang isang kababayan natin dito sa Hong Kong ang nagiging biktima. Paalisin ka agad, so makikita mo, wala talagang insurance benefit, walang medical benefits, wala yung mga other privileges na dapat na tinatanggap nila. So, anong dapat talagang magawa natin dito? Dapat palakasin talaga natin ang ating batas at the responsibility and accountabilities of our public officials. Gusto ko magkaroon ulit tayo ng isang batas na yung dating ginagawa natin sa mga OFWs. Walang agency fee, walang transportation expenses, walang mga medical expenses, wala lahat gagastusin, lahat libre, lahat gastos ng mga employers. Yan talaga ang vision noon, yan talaga objective ng ating ng OFWs natin noon. Pero bakit nangyari yun? Because of corruption sa ating pamahalaan. Ang nangyari, some labor officials connived with the foreign employers. Sasabihin sa foreign employers, o kami nang bahala sa mga transportation nila, o wala na kayong babayaran transportation, wala na kayong babayaran agency, basta sa amin kayo kumuha ng inyong mga laborers. So dahil dyan, nabastardize ang ating itong pagpapadala natin ng mga empleyado sa iba't ibang bansa. So kung mababalik lamang yung ganung uri ng batas at magkakaroon tayo ng malakas na ugnayan sa ibang bansa, magiging maganda ang ating mga ang trabaho ng mga OFWs ay mapapangalagaan natin sila. Hanggat hindi nagbabalik ang ganyang konsyensya, yung talagang sincere concern by our public officials sa ating mga OFWs, hindi mapuputol, hindi matitigil itong ganitong uri ng problema. hanggat naririyan po yung kanyang uri ng mga opisyal. At yan ho ang isang bagay na pinarako namin sa inyo, isang tunay at tapat na paglilingkod. Alam ko po itong problemang ito kasi noong una pa, abogado rin man ako ng ilang mga OFWs, marami po tayong pinagtanggol dyan, lalong-lalo na nung talagang mga wala pa silang binabayaran at unti-unti nang winawalang ya itong ating OFW system ito sa ating bansa. Kaya sana lahat ng mga opisyal na mamamahala ng ating labor sectors magbibigyan talaga sila ng proper protection. At yan lamang ang alam ko na protection na bibigay pa sa ating mga OFWs.
You asked earlier, no, what's new with the OtsoDiretso. I think what's probably new with the OtsoDiretso is that you have a set of people who are willing to confront yung mga foundational challenges. Especially since marami sa amin mga bagong kandidato na may kasaysayan ng pagtulong sa ating mamamayan. We have a lot of people here who are, I can speak for myself, I'm a professional public servant. And so I think the sense of the new also can dislocate yung mga traditional expectations about what senators can do. So that ability to confront fundamental and foundational challenges of Philippine society is, I think, what we bring to the table. For example, with respect to the OFW phenomenon, I think you need to have a Senate that's willing to look into the underlying problem, why many of our OFWs are forced to leave the country. Of course, you have people who choose to leave the country for greener pastures or for some other reasons. But we need to realize that many of our kababayans, yung mga kapitbahay ko sa Tondo, yung mga kamag-anak na galing Cagayan, yun lang yung tingin nila na oportunidad para maiangat yung kanilang sitwasyon. And so you need to look at a Senate that will be open to confronting the foundational challenges of our economy. That we need to improve our situation on the domestic end para yung ating mga kababayan hindi sa tingin nila pwersadong lumabas ng ating bansa. And then of course we need to confront yung situation once they're out of the Philippines. I suppose we can commit to putting front and center yung issue ng racial discrimination, unfair labor practices. There's a difference between a Senate that's quiet about the issue and a Senate that will be talking over and over again about the issues that confront our OFW, especially here in Hong Kong. We need to harness the power of numbers. Of course, yung trabaho ng karamihan ng mga OFWs dito sa atin sa Hong Kong doesn't necessarily give them the default political power. But I think if you have a government that's willing to invest heavily in their political resources para sabihin na kailangan maiangat yung estado ng ating mga kababayan dito sa Hong Kong, then you can't really predict what political will can do. If you have a government that's willing to push forward and forward and forward with the level of commitment and the level of determination that you don't previously see in governments, then that might be the space for change, that might be the space for improving the working and living conditions of our OFWs, not only here in Hong Kong, but in other countries as well. And then of course we have to deal with the return, mechanisms. Kung ayaw na talaga nung ibang mga OFWs natin, how to make returning to the Philippines a viable option for them. Which brings us back to the domestic sphere. You need to have a Senate that's not corrupt. It's basic. You need to have a Senate that's credible, who's willing to stand on certain issues because it's the right thing to do, not because it's politically convenient. And I think that's exactly what the OtsoDiretso slate can offer. We are the alternative. Many of us are new. The ones who are known have a history of serving the country rather eminently. So I think especially in contrast with the administration candidates who have, or who are in power, many of whom have been in power, and for the most part have kept quiet about issues that confront the OFW community. Thank you.
Kung tignan po natin yung track record ni Senator Bam Aquino sa Senado, makikita po natin na hindi lang po paniniwala pero nasa gawain po niya yung paglaki at paglakas ng ekonomiya hindi lang po dapat para sa mayayaman. Yung paglaki at paglakas ng ekonomiya, dapat pati rin po yung mga mahihirap ay umaabot po sa kanila. So yung mga ekonomista po ang tawag dito ay inclusive growth. At yan po talaga ang naging priority ni Senator Bam Aquino. In fact, sa kanyang chairmanship on the Committee of Trade and Commerce, pinalitan po niya ang pangalan, committee na po siya of Trade, Commerce, and Entrepreneurship. Dahil naniniwala po siya na yung mga pinakamaliliit na negosyante, hindi lang po yung malalaking negosyante, yan po talaga ang catalyst for inclusive growth. Na yung paglaki at paglakas ng ekonomiya hanggang sa mahihirap, nararamdaman po nila yan. Yung number 1 na batas na nagawa po niya dito ay ang Go Negosyo Act. So sa madaling sabi, more than 1,000 Go Negosyo Centers na po ang bukas sa buong Pilipinas na tumutulong sa maliliit na negosyante sa access to money or pautang, sa mentorship o gabay sa negosyo at sa market o sa merkado. At sana po talaga makabalik si Senator Bam sa Senado dahil matutulungan po niya ang mga OFWs sa kanyang Senate Bill 2101. Ito po ang business incentives for OFWs. So klarong-klaro po yan, no? Yung naipon po na pera ng ating OFWs, syempre nasusustentohan po yung pang everyday expenses ng pamilya nila, pero sana yung naipon nila, malalagay po nila sa mga negosyo, maliit man. At ano po ba yung mga benepisyo ng bill na to? Una po, 5 years exempted from income tax yung owner ng yung mga OFW na owner ng business. Pangalawa po, 50% reduction in real property tax. Pangatlo, preferential treatment or access sa mga microfinance or other finance programs ng gobyerno. At pati rin po yung tax-free or duty-free ng mga raw materials na ini-import na ginagamit po dun sa negosyo ng isang OFW. So klarong-klaro po talaga yung sana maitutulong ng Senate Bill 2101 ni Senator Bam Aquino para sa inclusive growth at kasama din po dyan ang OFWs. Siguro idadagdag ko din po yung kanyang Senate Bill na 648, ang Migrant Workers and Overseas Filipinos Assistance Act. So simple lang naman po siya, marami na pong nabanggit na kailangan na tulong sa OFWs, pero dito po sa Senate Bill na to, captured po una sa lahat ng international ports of departure. So may international flight na airport. Dapat po 24/7 may PAO na nakaduty, Public Attorney's Office. Kasi kumbaga, paano ba? Yun yung last chance ng OFW para humingi ng legal assistance, para maintindihan talaga kung ano yung hinaharap niya sa kanyang pag-migrate. Nandyan din po ang pagtanggal ng travel tax at airport fee sa ticket ng mga OFW. Currently po kasi kapag online natin to binibili, automatic kasama na po yun eh. So kailangan tanggalin na po siya.
It's not, there's a button you can choose para matanggal siya.
O sige, papa-update po natin yung Senate Bill 648. Pakilista na lang po. At syempre, kapag nasa abroad na po sila, itong maliit rin na bagay, I think some embassies do it already. Pero technically right now, yung batas is, ang obligasyon po ng embassies is quarterly lang po yung pag-update, no, ng mga dissemination of information. So sa Senate Bill po na ito, dapat bawat embassy may tinatawag na social media officer. Hindi po pang kalokohan sa Facebook, pero dapat timely and regular yung dissemination of information. So ito po yung dalawang maitutulong ni Senator Bam sa ating mga OFWs kung pagpalain po siya at makabalik sa Senado.
Okay, so para mabigyan ng pagkakataon yung everyone else who wants to ask a question within the remaining time. So yung next questions natin, if we can either direct it to a specific candidate, yeah, or if it's not specifically directed to a candidate, if you could have among the candidates, if you have one candidate to
answer
to reply for everyone. Next.
Good afternoon po. Ferdy from UNTV News and Rescue. Meron po akong tatlong tanong pero either of you sirs pwede sumagot and So, bakit Hong Kong ang una niyong pinuntahan for campaigning abroad? At anong strategies ninyo para mahatak ninyo ang pulso ng OFWs dito sa Hong Kong?
Well, bakit Hong Kong? Very accessible. Malapit po sa Pilipinas ang Hong Kong in terms of flying hours and going back, no? Dahil syempre, ang oras po sa mga kandidato ay importante. Kaya isa sa mga konsiderasyon talaga kung saan ang malaki ang populasyon ng ating mga OFWs. Kaya nandito po natin ang Hong Kong. Pangalawa, sa katanungan mo, ano yung style ng kampanya, yung ginagawa po namin sa Manila. Kami po ay lumalapit, nakikiusap. Kung titigan nga po ninyo, hindi kami yung tipong pumupunta sa isang air-conditioned na venue at magtatalumpati na one way. Kami po ay iikot sa iba't ibang mga lugar dito sa Hong Kong kung saan nandyan yung ating mga kababayan. Kakausapin po namin, magkakaroon po ng konting kamustahan at para malaman po natin meron bang nabago sa kanilang buhay nung umupo ang ating kasalukuyang Pangulo at ano ba yung mga nakikita nilang dapat asikasuhin na hindi inaasikaso na pinangako. No? So ito yung klase na pagpapalit ng kulo-kulo sa tingin po namin lalong nagpapalakas sa ugnayan ng OtsoDiretso at ng ating mga mamamayan. No? So yun yung makinig, matuto at kumilos.
Next question po ay itong issue sa Pilipinas. Ano ang reaction po ninyo? Anyone can answer po. Kung sinabi ng Presidente na the sin of the father cannot visit the daughter. So referring po ito dun sa pangyayari dun kay Governor Ali Marcos.
Kung titingnan kasi natin yung cases decided ng Supreme Court, hindi lang naman ang magulang ang kasama doon, pati ang mga anak ay kasama doon. You look at the 2003 case decided by the Supreme Court na sinabi nilang ang mga Swiss deposit sa halagang maabot ng $658 million ay hindi kanila yon, hindi pag-aari ng mga Marcos yon. Yan ay ill-gotten wealth, yan ay forfeited in favor of the Philippine government. At kasama rin, hindi lang ang mag-asawa doon, pati ang mga anak nila. So we cannot say that it's just the parents and it cannot be visited on the children. At ako mismo ay 11 taong gulang nung nagsimula ang martial law, 25 years old nung natapos ang martial law. Nakita ko with my own eyes yung involvement ng mga anak sa martial law. They were not just children who stayed inside the palace. They actively were a part of that infrastructure we call the dictatorship. So they cannot say that, oh, wala naman kaming kinalaman yun. Bata pa ako noon. Si Aimee nga, di ba, nasa KBN? Oh. So, hindi ko matanggap yung sinasabi ni Pangulo na ganun lang.
The metaphor is wrong. It's not as if the sins of the father are separable from the sins of the daughter. It's the sins of the family. Also, the sins of the father directly benefited the daughter and the entire family, and they continue to reap the benefits of that sin. It's a collective sin of the family, and none among the Marcoses have apologized for those sins. So, hindi siya kasalanan lang nung tatay, pwedeng mas maraming kasalanan yung tatay, pero yung mga anak ay may kasalanan din. At hanggang ngayon may kasalanan pa rin sila. Hindi nila lang inako yung kasalanan ng tatay, hiwalay silang may kasalanan pa.
Idadagdag ko lang, no? Yung tatay, kilala po natin nagsisinungaling. Yung anak, hanggang ngayon nagsisinungaling pa rin. Ano ba naman yung aaminin lang niya na pumasa siya, hindi siya pumasa sa Princeton at sa UP Law? Kasi ang parati po namin sinasabi, kaya nga lumalabas yung tong issue ng honesty, wala namang masama kung aaminin mo na hindi ka pumasa. Dahil yan naman po ang kwento ng buhay ng Pilipino yung hindi inaabot yung pangarap kaagad, no? So, it's the struggle of your dreams that make your character. Ang tanong nga namin dito, kung kaya pong itago ni Amy Marcos yung katotohanan, ano pa yung pwede niyang itago kung siya po ay malalagay sa Senado? Simple bagay lang. Aminin lang po niya na hindi po siya nagtapos sa Princeton at UP. Tapos na yung issue.
Magsasalita lang ako. Klase ko si Amy sa UP Law. Nagsisinungaling siya.
Kasi ikat mo si Amy pala.
Question po. After Hong Kong, saan po ang susunod ninyong
Well, babalik po kami sa Manila at patuloy po yung pag-ikot. Malaki ang Manila ay ang Pilipinas. Malaki po ang mga lugar na kailangan po namin puntahan. At ang significance lang po talaga ng pagpunta po namin dito para makita po ng ating mga kababayan na hindi po namin iniiwanan ng OFW issue. Maski sabihin po natin malaki po ang boto na nakuha ng Pangulo po dito. At pwede po kaming pumunta at makinig po sa kanila. At yung pagiging open, humble, humility na dinadala po ng OtsoDiretso, yan yung pong pwedeng ikalat ng iba't ibang mga OFW sa kanilang mga kamag-anak, whether here in Hong Kong or back in Manila or other OFW networks around the globe.
Magandang hapon po. Si Asun po ng GMA7 dito sa Hong Kong. Mapapansin niyo po, meron po ngayong about 87,441 registered voters na Pilipino dito sa Hong Kong. Bumaba po ito from 93,000 ng nakaraang po presidential election. Pero kapansin-pansin po ngayon, during this midterm election, very active po, no, na ang senatorial election candidates. For years po ng overseas absentee voting, every time po na may term, mapapansin po yung kakaiba noon na hindi kasing aktibo pag presidential. Pero ngayon po, nagko-cover po ng OAV from the start, kapansin-pansin po na aktibo po kayo ang kampanya. So, given po yun na yung pagiging aktibo nyo, and yet, ang buhay po ng OFW sa Hong Kong ay the same pa rin. Yun po yung sanang hiling namin, no? Kung given na ganito po ka-aktibo at given for the last 10 years na nagkaroon ng OAV, the fact na nandito pa rin po kaming mga OFWs dito sa Hong Kong, so makikita po natin na may kakulangan po sa pagbabago. So yung po sana yung kahilingan, ako po bilang Pilipino na nandito rin sa Hong Kong kaparte po ng mga ilang OFW, una ang isang issue po ngayon dito na matunog o malakas ay yung health po ng mga OFW natin. Overwork from 12 to 16 hours to 20 hours na trabaho. And then yung pong kalagayan ng ating pong mga fees, bayarin po mula sa ating gobyerno. Mula po nagsimula ang OFW na issue, hindi po ito nagbabago. Nagbabago man, nadadagdagan. No? So yung pong ilan. So yun po sana yung marinig ng mga OFW natin. Aktibo po ngayon ang senatorial election. Sana po maging bahagi po kayo ng pagbabagong ito.
Yes, ma'am. Yung sabi po nga nila, ma'am, yung advocacy na health should be portable, health benefits should be portable, hindi lang po sa location sa Pilipinas, portable meaning kahit saan. HK din dapat, dala natin yung health benefits. And the PhilHealth or the benefits natin from the DOH should also cascade to the Hong Kong OFW sector, especially dun sa nagtatrabaho sa hazardous circumstances, ma'am. So talagang malaking pong bagay na nagmamawa po yung ating PhilHealth or MOA with our local hospitals or even our ministries here, ministries of health in the Hong Kong, so that we can get the benefits from the health sector for our financial expenses, no, sa ating mga pangangailangan. At hindi lang po during sick times, kundi dapat po medical check-up. Libre ba ma'am dito, medical check-up? Thank God, medical check-up and preventive. So always very important po yun, and that's why OtsoDiretso is looking at the Project Makinig. It's been 14,000 conversations, if not more, since the past 3 months, na napakalaking issue po is talaga pa rin trabaho. Issue ng trabaho, kaya how many ang ating registered workers and unregistered workers dito sa Hong Kong? I'm sure marami. Just like in the Middle East, pinapauwi na tayo from Saudi Arabia because of the Arabization policy. So, anong dadat na natin sa Pilipinas? Kulang pa rin ang trabaho. So, it doesn't solve the problem. For OtsoDiretso, we're looking at the roots. Kailangan employment opportunities, financing our cooperatives, our small and medium enterprises, financial assistance. Yes, the President wants the train law because of the build. But what is the protective cushions sa ating farming sector, sa ating fishing sector? So, tinitingnan po natin na holistic dapat yung approach ng pag-aaral sa mga polisiya, pagpapugay din ma'am, dahil syempre out of the 28 billion na income ng Pilipinas, 1.46 trillion pesos, whole GDP ba ito, ay 10% or so is from OFW remittances. Can you imagine? Okay, heroes kayo paglabas, pero pagbalik, ano bang proyekto para sa inyo? Baka nakalimutan na kayo and in the fringes na tayo. I know na maraming mga taxi drivers na ako nakakausap, OFWs, wala nang cash, wala nang programa, wala nang pong property investment sila kasi nga hindi sila napaprepare at wala pong naging programa for them. So yes ma'am, thanks for reminding us that should be a DOLE project, OWA project, dapat oversight function din ng Senado natin na bantayan po yung programa para sa OFWs.
Sa akin lang po, ang bawat eleksyon ay isang taya. At kung tumaya sa luma at walang nangyari, baka po gustong tumaya sa bago. Baka may mangyari. Yun lang po.
Magandang hapon po. Ako po si June Concepcion ng Radio Television Hong Kong. Nakita po natin noong 2016 na yung pangako pong pagbabago ng Presidente Duterte ay nakatulong na malaki at kaya siya naging Presidente. And of course, nakita din natin ngayon na malakas ang support na binibigay niya sa kandidato ng Hong Kong na pagbabago. So ang tanong ko po ay, what kind of measures and strategies will you adopt in the next couple of weeks before the election to send a very strong message that will capture not only the imagination but the support of voters in the Philippines and outside the country for them to support OtsoDiretso more than Hong Kong na pagbabago?
OtsoDiretso po, diretso sa tao. I think you don't see any campaign na diretso sa palengke, na pumupunta mismo sa bawat pwesto, bawat bahay. Kasi sabi nila, it's too time-consuming, but we've had this 100,000 conversation almost by volunteers. And they're coming out mismo, sariling poster, tarpaulin, sako. We're not spending much po, sir. We're even so captivated and so humbled enough to say thank you to HK for kayo, mismo dumating kayo. Why would you come if you didn't think na valid yung aming pinipresenta? Witness po ito mga kasama ko, each one of us, we're not millionaires. The people are the ones, spending even for a lot of our collaterals. So, the strategy is to go OtsoDiretso sa tao, hindi kami pang-impyerno, OtsoDiretso na sa impyerno. I think the President was already challenged, kaya siguro kung ano mga label sa amin. So, OtsoDiretso sa tao, talagang diretso sa mga doorsteps, palengke, the strategy is to touch the people, present the platform as it is, what needs to be challenged and what needs to be presented.
I think the main strategy is to show to the people that this campaign is not about us eight. It is about them. No, hindi kami bida dito eh. Kami nga lang yung extra na pinatawag na humarap para sa mga bida. At para sa akin, kaya nga nakakagulat at tingin ko, kaya nga nagsalita si Pangulo laban sa amin na isa-isa. Dahil nakikita ng ating Pangulo na iba yung kampanya na ginagawa ng OtsoDiretso sa baba. Maraming volunteers ang umiikot at kinakampanya yung OtsoDiretso without even being paid. No? So, ito yung strategy na we will continue to do all the way up to election day, and hopefully we will be able to convince majority of our electorate to vote OtsoDiretso.
I think presence is key. The fact that we are here in Hong Kong as a group should communicate something very powerful to our OFW communities here in Hong Kong. And yung pangalawa, yung diwa ng volunteerismo. In fact, we're here in Hong Kong precisely because of the volunteerism of a lot of organizations here who are spending time, resources, and money to make sure that this event happens. And we're seeing that all over the country. If we can tell you so many stories, very inspiring stories about how people who have never been political before have decided to go all out to support some or all of the candidates of OtsoDiretso. I don't hear that from the other campaign because they're so complacent with their entertaining style of campaigning. So I think that's the key driver for the strategy, to make the people campaign for us, to make the people front and center of what we're trying to do.
Just a point of clarification, or perhaps an additional question. Considering the time constraint, that you face in the next couple of weeks, and considering the difficulties of crisscrossing the Philippines and touching base directly with the electorate, what specific strategies do you think will be vital or instrumental for OtsoDiretso to persuade voters to cast their votes in for OtsoDiretso? Do you see, for instance, the social media playing a vital role for you to reach out to Filipinos across the country and even across the world? Thank you.
Well, it will be a combination of all factors, no? Social media, volunteers. Kasi maski sa social media, maraming volunteers din naman dyan eh. At the end of the day talaga, ang work is on the ground. And kung titigan nga po natin, importante na abutin yung pinakamalawak na botante sa baba. Ano yun? Yung DNE. At paano natin maabot yung DNE? The best way to reach DNE is to mobilize as much volunteers to go out of their comfort zones and reach out to these communities. Kasi kung we just move around with our specific civil society organizations, I for one will say talo tayo. Kulang yan. So kailangan lumabas sa comfort zones ng mga civil society organizations, lumabas sa mga taong hindi nila kinikilala o hindi nila pinupuntahan na dapat ngayon puntahan, at yun po yung magpapanalo po sa amin.
The strategy also that I think I respect from our campaign manager, Senator Kiko Pangilinan, head of the whole OtsoDiretso, syempre strengthen the 4 members of the coalition leadership. We of course represent in the OtsoDiretso coalition, the Action Demokratiko, Akbayan Party List, ang ating Magdalo, and pangapat is yung Liberal Party, syempre one of the biggest organizations in the country, one of the oldest political parties is Liberal Party. unfortunately victimized by a troll social media has been unfair. So, importante po is to turn the tide around. You have the facts, you have information, we're coming to you po. And the 2 weeks will be invested, a lot of it is really on the style of going through the radio, and we've had a lot of TV sponsors as well. Kami as Otso, nakita nyo, yung iba individual, pero kami ay group ads. And then, so that's that's advertisement, sir. That's the social media. We have a lot of millennial volunteers. Each one of us have our Facebook pages with dedicated volunteers, 24 hours. We would like to see a Barack Obama approach wherein really young people were the ones investing. They fundraised even, communities fundraised, provincial sorties were being hosted. So napaka-inspiring sir talaga, grabe po. Ang ganda ng pagbaba namin. We go to schools and 1,000 students are gathered and 1,000 students will write. And then we don't need a big hype or a big advertisement on a very expensive. So maganda po. Ang approach is very direct to the people, and I think I credit the OtsoDiretso campaign team as well for making us reach to the level na President will say, Otso Impierno.
Para sa akin, prayers, confidence, and a firm belief that the people are really crying out for change. Kasi sinasabi nila na kailangan ng magbago. Kaya nga kami nandito bago. Marami sa amin bago. Ay, ang problema, sigaw tayo ng sigaw ng pagbabago, pero luma naman ang luma ang napupunta dyan. Binabalik lamang natin ang binabalik. Siguro dapat natin ipaliwanag sa taong bayan, at ito lagi namin sinasabi, na ang termino ng isang senador ay 6 na taon. Nang ibig sabihin, 6 na taon na ipinagkakatiwala o mahigit sa kalahating dekada ng kanilang buhay ay ipagkakatiwala sa mga taong itong tumatakbo ngayon sa 2019 elections. Kaya kailangan talaga, lagi namin sinasabi, tingnan natin ang kanilang kasaysayan. Ano ba ang kanilang kasaysayan? Kasi ang kasaysayan ng mga leaders ang talaga magbibigay sa atin ng pantunan kung ano talaga ang uri ng leaders na magkakaroon tayo. Kaya kami ay naniniwala na dahil sa ang ino-offer namin ay talagang kasaysayan ng magandang pamumuhay at kasaysayan ng talagang magbibigay ng tapat na paglilingkod, naniniwala kami na yung taong bayan ay maka naman talagang umahanap sila ng bago. Kaya yun ang aking palagay na kung bakit malakas ang aming loob na may pag-asang kami ay talagang manalo rito. Kasi lagi ko sinasabi, manalo man kami o magwagi, ay pagpapatuloy namin itong aming mga advokasya.
Right, so we have time for just 2 more questions.
Hi sir, 2 questions from my end. Sir, first, how do you address fake surveys that have suddenly cropped up over the past few days? And second, do you also intend to tap into the powerful INC block vote?
Perhaps yung sa fake surveys, ibalik ko sa inyo yung tanong na baka naman huwag muna tayo maniwala agad sa lumalabas na survey hanggat ma-confirm talaga natin na yun ay tunay. You know, yung sa amin naman, the issue of surveys is really a secondary issue. Because to us, the real test is when the voters come out on election day and vote. There's so many, ang daming mga nagbabatikos dyan sa survey, hindi ko na papasukan yan. Basta ang sasabihin ko lang, they are not the only gauge of public, what the public wants. And we also have to look at how online the kind of reactions we are getting. At masasabi ko also in answer to your question earlier, that the response we have been receiving, especially from the young, especially online, has been so different from what the surveys are reflecting. Kaya kami ay talagang minsan nasya-shock kami, bakit ganito? Hindi naman ganun ang nararamdaman namin. Hindi lang online, kundi sa pag-iikot namin. So we have to, let me just leave it at that in terms of your question.
I think when we as candidates complain about fake surveys being released by the other candidates, there's some element of conflict interest dahil umaangal kami. But I think the more important question is, number one, what is media going to do about it? I think the media has a special obligation to call out those candidates who are responsible for releasing, fake surveys. And number two, it really reflects not only on the candidate who issued the fake survey, but on the entire slate, because it reflects on the character of their campaign. That they themselves and one of them, their members would be responsible for such kind of a dishonesty. And finally, I think we need to recognize the context. No? If the leader of their campaign would say that honesty is no longer an election issue, and then several days later you have a fake survey coming from one of the candidates, then it binds them all. It binds them all for that kind of style of campaigning.
Syempre, why not the Iglesia ni Cristo? Please consider a woman from the Muslim faith. She would want to serve Iglesia ni Cristo at lahat. We've been visiting the bishops, the Catholic communities, in the hope that pagbigyan nyo rin ang mga taga-Muslim faith na maging kasama nyo, kasangga nyo para sa ating pangbansa kapayapaan. And of course, not just the Iglesia ni Cristo, all the Catholic communities, all the faith-based communities. I urge them to also use their social action centers to have voters education. Hindi lang po trabaho siguro. Kung ayaw ng NAMFREL, COMELEC, it absconded its role, then let it be the Catholic and the Iglesia ni Cristo. Lahat ng Catholic groups, you might want to tap into your social action centers to facilitate, mediate, organize voters education, know your candidates forum.
We received, in my case, I got information that ang ibang mga survey groups or survey companies, yung pag-gather ng data, sinasubcontract sa ibang agencies. I don't know kung totoo yun, pero ilang balita. If that is true, then yung mga results na lumalabas, parang fake news din kasi hindi nanggagaling sa talagang survey company which is supposed to conduct the same. Siguro dapat tingnan mabuti ito ng Commission on Elections if it is true na yung mga raw data ay sinasubcontract ng mga survey companies. And the survey companies, sila na lamang ang gumagawa ng analysis from the raw data obtained by the subcontracting companies. Kasi kung yun ang mangyayari, parang hindi original yung resulta na inilalabas ng nasabing survey group or survey companies. Dahil sa inaasahan ng taong bayan, sila talaga ang gumawa noon. Kaya I think the COMELEC should look into this matter. Because under the rules, yung mga survey results must clearly indicate sino ang nagpa-survey, sino ang survey companies, at sino ang magkano ang ibinayad doon. Pero kung ganyan na ginagawa pala yung mga raw data ng ibang mga subcontracting companies, how sure are we na itong mga subcontracting companies na ito ay hindi nalalapitan ng mga kandidato? Paano natin malalaman na tunay ang binibigay nila? At paano kasiguruhan natin na yung natatanggap ng main or mother company, a survey company, ay talagang tama yung tinatanggap nila mga result o mga raw data? So I think the Commission on Elections should investigate or inquire from the survey companies releasing the alleged results of surveys if there are other people other than main survey company who undertook any activity involving the results of the said survey. Kaya kailangan malaman yan ng ating Commission on Elections. Kasi kung may ibang tao palang gumagamit yan, hindi po pwedeng sabihin na ito ay survey na ginawa ng nasabing survey company. Di ba? Kasi ang gumawa ng survey, yung kung sinong kasubcontract nila. Kaya I hope the COMELEC could look into this matter. And I intend to write the COMELEC about it. Kami dito, kung ganyan nangyayari, we have to ask COMELEC to dig deeper into this matter para malinawagan natin for a transparent survey at mawala itong mga allegations of fake news or fake surveys na lumalabas.
Okay, so one last here.
Hello. Hindi ako magtatanong. Ako I have bilang someone who's been in Hong Kong for 32 years. I've worked with the OFWs from the ground. Kaya ito lang ho yung, I want to speak for them. Dahil hindi wala namang mga OFW representatives dito, unfortunately. Sana kung Sunday, then bukas, but it's not going to be structured. So ito ho yung mga issues confronting them. And ito bago lang, mandatory SSS, pinirmahan ni President Duterte. That's a very big concern. Kasi ang nangyayari sa mga OFWs natin, they pay both the employer and the employee share. And that's a big burden on them. Last year, pinirmahan din, secretary nila, Secretary Bello, yung mandatory insurance for all OFWs no matter how long they've been abroad. And that's a POEA directive which is supposed to supersede an RA, and that's technically illegal, of course, but we don't know whether this is going to be implemented because it's been signed already by the POEA governing board. Yeah. So, pero may fear because we've seen it. It was kept secret. I got a copy. So it's there.
Is a law?
It's a POEA board resolution. Pirmado ng buong POEA board. So they're mandating insurance. So insurance and SSS together, that will eat up a lot of our workers' earnings. And then meron yung OEC. This is a long-running issue, the Overseas Employment Certificate. They are requiring all our OFWs to get it every time they go home. And hindi naman kailangan because in their visa, in their passport, there's already a visa showing. We don't know what it's for, but I sense that there's an effort to get data from them. For what reason, we don't know. But ang nangyayari, we have 210,000 OFWs in Hong Kong alone, and every time each of them goes home, pumipila sila for this. Ginawa nilang online, but it's difficult to do it. Every time they have to go to somebody to help them access their own or create a new an account every time they go home. So this is a big burden. Ang dami ho. And then yung sinasabi ni Attorney Makalintal about yung government to government, sana hindi na, wala na hong direct hiring. Everybody has to go through PUEA. Even yung mga professionals na and who does the approval? Only the secretary. Dati PUEA lang pwedeng pirmahan nila yung mga approval. So we have like professionals, mga professors dito, they have to wait for the papers. We don't know why the secretary wants to sit on these documents, but wala nang direct hiring. This should make it easier for our OFWs to just leave. Kung total, halimbawa kami, kilala naman namin kukunin namin sa Pilipinas, hindi namin pwedeng kunin. We still have to go to all these mga corrupt agencies which charge a lot of money on both sides. Yung sinasabi ni Secretary Makalintal, ideal yun, na walang placement fee, but what happens is that this has been turned into a training fee. They're required to go to some shady training centers just so they could collect money from our OFWs. So ito ho yung sitwasyon ngayon. The situation actually has gotten worse through the years. So I'm just talking about this just to make you aware if there's like going to be an effort to help our OFWs. Yung legal defense fund, it's non-existent. In Hong Kong, we have duty lawyers who assist our kababayan. And kami na mga NGO, I have been assisting in my own capacity, people who get killed. There's a lot of compensation that the Hong Kong government awards, but you have to claim it, and you need people to help you. So, yun yung depende kung sino nakaupo. Our labor attaché at the moment is a very proactive labor attaché, but he can only do so much. Kasi yung ating labor secretary na nagbibigay ng trabaho sa mga illegal Chinese workers in the Philippines for $2,500 US. Samantalang yung mga workers natin, $400 US lang ang ating hinihingi, hindi naman susunod. Sa Middle East, you talk to them, 150 US, they accept it monthly. You talk to a lot of people who go to Dubai. I make a habit of conversing with them. 150 US, ba't hindi naman natin sila mabigyan ng trabaho sa Pilipinas kung 150 US dollars ang mga hinihingi nila? But that's how desperate the situation is. A lot of our workers go abroad. How many teachers are in Hong Kong? For example, we have thousands of licensed teachers who are here because they don't have jobs in the Philippines. We have nurses. Yun yung ganong ka-desperado sitwasyon natin dito. Most of our workers, ang minimum requirement dito sa Hong Kong, they should be high school graduates at least. But we have a lot of college graduates who are here. So sana, with your help, these concerns will be, can be addressed as well. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Talagang ngayon, i-address natin yan. Salamat daw.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. So, last words, and then we end the session. Any?
Okay na. Okay na.
Right? Sige, okay. Alright.
Photo op na lang.
So thank you. Salamat sa ating mga friends from the media, and thank you to our candidates. So thank you. So our candidates will still be around tonight and tomorrow, and marami pa sila na activities. Okay, thank you.